Amen, say man. This is the A-Man Show back at it again for another banger. Here we go, back at it again for this series. This time we are going to do wideouts. I'm not gonna lie, from 6 to 10 is probably the toughest I have to rank because there are so many receivers, about 23 receivers who had at least 1,000 yards last season. And because of that, you can make the claim that wide receivers has to be the toughest to rank outside of offensive linemen, which we will do later on. But aside from that, let's get it on. The top 10 wide receivers in the NFL. But first, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I post NBA and NFL content. Turn on post notifications so that way y'all stay tuned for more videos I put up. Anyways, stay tuned and let's get the video started. So kicking off with the number 10 spot in my list, I gotta go with Jalen Waddle. Waddle for sure belongs on the list because him and Tyreek Hill are the best deep threat, let alone wideout duo in the NFL. Waddle's dangerous speed along with his footwork makes him a very tough guy to stop as a secondary. To give you a brief description of how dangerous he is in the open field, he led the league in yards after the catch with 18.1. Waddle is also third among wideouts in per route run. So I think y'all get the gist of it. Waddle is going to his age 25 season, and he's going into the early stages of his prime, and I will not be surprised if he breaks out even more and put himself among the elite receivers in the NFL, but since he's the second receiving option for the Dolphins, it's kind of unlikely that he'll break out even more this coming season, but nonetheless, Waddle deserves to be on this list. At the number 9 spot in my list, I have DeAndre Hopkins. For some people who think that I have Hopkins way low in my list, let's not be disingenuous here. Hopkins has been overrated for the last 2 seasons because the guy in 2021 missed almost the second half of the season due to injury, and then last season the guy missed the first 6 games due to suspension of PEDs and only played 9 games in total. I'm not discounting Hopkins' talent at all, but I do think that we need to take his availability issues to consideration because all the things I said, everyone take it like a grain of salt, and I don't think it's fair to have Hopkins in the top 5 over guys who are more healthy and put up elite numbers than DeAndre Hopkins. Until I see Hopkins put up his typical prime numbers, he's at the number 9 spot in my list. Coming in at the number 8 spot, I gotta go with Cooper Kupp. I think we forget a little bit how great Cooper Kupp was the year prior last season. The man had one of the greatest individual seasons in NFL history, being in Triple Crown territory of leading the NFL in receiving yards, receiving touchdowns, and receptions, while winning Offensive Player of the Year and was Super Bowl MVP. And then the 9 games he played in last year, hadn't he gotten injured against Arizona, he would have had over 1,200 receiving yards, over 100 receptions with over 10 TDs. Mind you, the guy was more productive than Hopkins last year. While both of them played 9 total games and was better, Cooper Kupp was doing this with Matthew Stafford putting up stingers in the majority of the regular season last season. Although I have my issues with Kyler Murray, but he definitely wasn't as heinous as Matthew Stafford was, where the dude almost has as many interceptions as touchdowns, but that didn't affect Cooper Kupp at all. To add to the season and the season prior, I think y'all agree with me that Cooper Kupp deserves to be on this list. At the number 7 spot, I gotta go with CeeDee Lamb. The dude has broken out to be a legit star in the NFL. He put up career highs in targets, catches, yards, touchdowns, and yards per route run. And also the guy had the lowest drop rate of his career as well. And he did all of this without Amari Cooper taking the defensive load off of him, and also did this with Dak Prescott recording his worst season of his career. Lamb is for sure one of the best route runners in the game, as well as having elite hands. He has arguably been the best player on offense for the Cowboys. Everyone talks about Dak Prescott in the quarterback position, but I don't think that Lamb is being talked about enough. He has the makings to be among the top 5 receivers in the NFL if he keeps on doing what he's been doing. Enough said about Lamb. I think y'all heard enough about why Lamb belongs at the number 7 spot on my list. Coming in at the number 6 spot, I gotta go with Jamar Chase. Chase off the gate put up one of the most prolific seasons for a wideout in history during his rookie year, and his production helped the Bengals reach the Super Bowl the year prior. And now last year, he wasn't as great as he was in his rookie year, and yes, injuries did play a part of him having an regress season, but still in 12 games, he managed to record over 1,000 yards, caught 87 receptions, which is a career high, and scored 9 TDs. It's obvious that Chase has been a dominant contested catcher, while not as dominant as his counterpart in T. Higgins, but everything else, including yards after the catch and the big time plays he makes consistently, there is a reason why he's the number 1 receiving option for the Bengals. And in fact, Joe Burrow has a 112.4 passer rating when throwing to Jamar Chase, which is superb. Chase is only 23, and I think within the next few years, him and Justin Jefferson will battle each other on who is the best receiver in the NFL. Now in the top 5, starting off with the number 5 spot, I gotta go with AJ Brown. The fact that Brown puts up elite numbers as a wide receiver while mostly in a run-centric offense, it just makes everything more impressive to look at. His play has made everyone better, including Jalen Hurts. Now, I'm not taking away from what Jalen Hurts did last year, but we have to take into consideration Jalen Hurts won't be as great last year had it been for AJ Brown's superb season. Like Lamb, he put up career highs in receiving yards, receptions, and targets. He also improved in every part of his play, including route running, hands, while making more big-time plays, yards after the catch. And now under contract until 2028, I expect AJ Brown to be among the elite receivers in the game for a while. Coming in at the number 4 spot, I have Stefan Diggs. This is the 3rd consecutive year of Diggs having over 1,200 receiving yards, over 100 receptions, and have at least 8 TDs. Last year, the guy had a career high in touchdowns with 11. Stefan Diggs is obviously one of the 3 best route runners in the NFL, and you can make the case that he is the best route runner in the game. There's not many guys who can create separation as well as Diggs. Mind you that the guy was able to do this without another receiver who was good enough to take the load off of Diggs. And nothing against Gabriel Davis, but I don't think his production was at a level like a T. Higgins nor Devonte Smith as second receiving options, which makes Diggs' 2022 season more impressive. Currently, there are trade rumors for Stefan Diggs due to him being disgruntled with the Bills' offense, but aside from that, Diggs is among the top wideouts in the game, and I don't see him slowing down anytime soon. At the number 3 spot on my list, I have Tyreek Hill. Hill had an historic year as a wide receiver last season, and him and the other guy that plays for the Raiders are interchangeable for the number 2 and 3 spot on any top 10 list. The guy had the chance to reach 2,000 yards in a season had he recorded more 100-yard games, but still, man. The guy had multiple games where he recorded over 150 yards and over 10 receptions. And he did this with Tua Tagovailoa, who is a significant downgrade to Patrick Mahomes. The guy keeps proving us why he's the best deep threat in the game and possibly cement himself as one of the greatest deep threats in NFL history. No speedster has been this dominant than Tyreek Hill, and when it's all said and done, the guy can receive a gold jacket in the Hall of Fame. Coming in at the number 2 spot on my list, I have Devonte Adams. Adams surprised me of how dominant he was ever since his departure from Green Bay. Even with Derek Carr's disappointment as a quarterback, Adams had the best season of his career with the Raiders, with another season recording over 1,500 yards and 100 receptions, and last season he led all receivers in touchdowns. Adams is still the best route runner in the game, and he was literally the offense for this godforsaken Raiders offense. The man is on his way to be a Hall of Famer when it's all said and done. He has been one of the most dominant receivers from the late 2010s to now, and I don't think that he's slowing down anytime soon. You can put Adams at the number 1 spot in this list if Justin Jefferson did not exist, because at the number 1 spot on my list has to be Justin Jefferson. Jefferson had a historic 3rd year in the league and was the offense for a Vikings team that won over 10 games last season. When I look at the eye test, there are no weaknesses in his play whatsoever, and in fact, Justin Jefferson can pretty much do everything at an elite level. His footwork, let alone route running, is elite. His hands are elite, especially in traffic. His yards after the catch are elite. Everything that Justin Jefferson does is at an elite level. And I think it's obvious that Justin Jefferson is the greatest receiver since Randy Moss. I'm ready to say that. Not even Hall of Fame receivers such as Terrell Owens, Antonio Brown, and even Julio Jones are doing what Justin Jefferson is doing in their third year in the NFL. For quick facts, Jefferson led all receivers in receiving yards, receptions, and he won Offensive Player of the Year and was 5th in MVP voting. Jefferson has proven that he is a one-of-a-kind receiver, and it's only a matter of time where this dude is going to be mentioned as one of the top 3 receivers ever. And that's the video. What do y'all think about this list? Again, any agreements or disagreements about my list, let me know in the comment section below. And make sure y'all subscribe for more NBA and NFL content in the future. Goal is to hit 1,000 subs by the end of the year and turn on post notifications, and that is all. Stay litty. This is the A-Man Show. Sign out.